Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to NBC News Daily. I'm Abby Price with your Midday Ark-La-Miss update. Well, a woman in New Orleans was shot while she was driving on Tuesday night, and the two toddlers in the vehicle with her were injured. Authorities say it happened just before 8 p.m. at North Robertson and St. Ferdinand Streets. According to reports, the woman was shot in the upper body. Two children were also in the car and suffered minor injuries from debris. Police believe one child is about a year old and the other possibly 3 years old. All three victims are being treated at a local hospital. There is currently no word on their condition. When someone is a survivor of domestic abuse or human trafficking, some end up in prison for defending themselves or being forced to commit a crime. A new bill would allow for the context of abuse to be explained in court. Capitol reporter Shannon Hecht brings us the details.
The bill by Senator Regina Barrow would allow for expert witnesses to be called in cases where domestic abuse or human trafficking could have led a survivor to commit a crime. The Senate committee heard from women who were sentenced to prison for killing their abusers, but weren't released until many years later through clemency or pardon. They feel their cases would have gone differently if they were able to give context of the severe abuse they experienced before the crime.
But I was doomed from the beginning.
It also would apply to cases of human trafficking, where someone could have been forced to commit a crime for fear of being beaten or even killed by their abusers. An expert witness would be called to explain the abuse to a judge and jury.
Survivors should never have to choose between prison and death.
It would also apply retroactively to allow some old cases to be revisited to bring evidence of abuse being the direct correlation of the crime.
It doesn't mean this woman would not spend time in prison. It means that she would be charged appropriately, convicted and sentenced appropriately.
But some members of the District Attorneys Association have concerns with the bill.
But the post-conviction piece here doesn't require at all that the victim of the crime for which someone was convicted be the prior abuser of the person who is incarcerated.
They also want the definition of expert witness to be better defined. Barrow agreed to continue to work on the language of the bill with the district attorneys as it now heads to the full Senate. For your local election headquarters, I'm Shannon Hecht.
In health news, there's news in the fight against a specific form of breast cancer. A vaccine is being tested right now to prevent triple-negative breast cancer. Jenny Davis is the first woman to take the potential vaccine, and preliminary data looks promising. Davis has already beat breast cancer once. She's being treated at the Cleveland Clinic, where phase 1 of this clinical trial is underway.
I didn't hesitate because with triple negative, I can't take tamoxifen. I can't take, there's nothing that kind of puts your mind at ease that it won't recur.
The vaccine works by targeting a specific protein created after a woman gives birth. Jenny and 14 other women have received the vaccine so far. Data released last week showed all had an immune response to varying degrees.
And now, Storm Tracker Doppler weather with meteorologist Trey Tonneson.
As we continue on into your spring, as we approach finally the end of the month, we'll notice that temperatures are actually below average today, but our focus will be on a marginal risk for severe weather overnight tonight into your day tomorrow. And for this reason, this is why you see this green shade across our viewing area, and then areas to our west and a level 2 out of 5 slight risk for severe weather development. The main focus from this potential event going to be damaging winds and some hail. But as we continue into the day today, after some initial morning storms, we will see bits and pieces of sunshine possible throughout the afternoon hours, but not a guarantee by any means. Temperatures into the upper 70s yet again, almost cracking the 80s. Some may, but most will not. As we continue into the afternoon today, those storm chances will increase into the afternoon and evening into your day tomorrow as well, but temperature lows will find themselves into the mid-60s with that moisture increasing courtesy of the warm front to our south. But on into your 7-day forecast, a steady string of unsettled days over the next few, but into next week we finally start warming up, and not only warming up, we'll also find ourselves in a more steady and comfortable pattern, definitely a more favorable pattern for spring. Those temperatures will be working themselves right back up closer to average, which is definitely a much welcomed change to the forecast following this week's change in not only temperatures but rainfall.
Want to stay on top of every news story in the Ark-La-Miss? Make sure you download the NBC 10 News app. All you have to do is search KTVE in the Apple App Store or on Google Play. Well, that's it for your midday update. Stay dry, stay safe today. NBC News Daily continues.